I am bored. Bored people are usually depressed. We all get depressed at certain points in our life. People think depression is bad. It's true. No one wants to be depressed. But it's perfectly normal to be depressed for a few hours, a day, a week, a month. It depends on what has gone on in our life. Some trauma, some loss, some negative feelings. Could have been the death of someone that we love, the breakup of a relationship, being fired or laid off, something happening with our kids, our pets, some huge financial loss. Now we're going to have other feelings: grief, sadness, anger, rage, emptiness. But we're also going to feel depressed. Now, people can be depressed for a year, 3 years, 7 years, a lifetime. See, depression can be like an addiction. It's easier to stay depressed than to change, to heal, to feel energized, to be full of life. It is okay to be depressed for a short period of time. It is not okay to be depressed for a long period of time, years. We need to find solutions to our feelings and our outlooks on life. A lot of people feel uncomfortable talking to a depressed person, probably because they are depressing. Seriously. It's one of the best things you can do. If you talk to a depressed person, you start getting them conversing, talking about something else, also getting them to do some type of physical activity, play a game, volunteering, get outside, do something. You see, that action is the key. Even a severely depressed person on medication, this whole idea of them doing something or talking about something or somebody is helping them, because action is the key, because they have to focus on something outside of themselves. Let's look at the chemicals inside our brains. We have serotonin, which deals with mood and anxiety. Endocannabinoids, which deal with happiness and delight. Oxytocin, warmth and bonding. Endorphins, satisfaction and pleasure. Now, there are some doctors and some people out there that believe that depression is only about the chemical imbalance in our brain. If you fix the chemical imbalance, then you cure depression. Not true. It is true that we do have a chemical imbalance and that needs to be dealt with, but we also have feelings that need to be processed and also dealt with. And the combination of dealing with the chemical imbalance in our brains, as well as the feelings inside our body, that is how you cure depression. Now let me give you an example about me. When I would get depressed, actively depressed more and stay depressed. I would bet on baseball. I'd buy anywhere from a 6-pack to a 12-pack of beer, and I'd buy a half gallon of ice cream. Now why that combination? That seems to be an odd combination. You see, I like to gamble on baseball because baseball is a slow sport. I could watch baseball for 6-7 hours, about 2 back-to-back games, and I could stay depressed for a long time. Now, you can drink beer fast or slow, but with anywhere from 6 to 12 beers, that's going to take a while. Ice cream. You cannot eat ice cream fast. So with a half gallon of ice cream and a big spoon, you start by eating that top layer of ice cream. Then you start eating about a third of the ice cream. Then you keep saying, well, I'll just go halfway. And then at halfway, I'm going to stop and I'm going to put it up. But sometimes at times you would just keep going, you go past halfway, and then you just say, well, I have to finish it. Even though you're full, it's about just keep going. Yes, this is about self-sabotage, punishment, OCD. You see, I wanted to go to sleep and actually feel worse about myself. And see, that's how I knew that I was actively depressing. I was making things worse because I was just getting more into my addictions, more into my actions, so I could feel more depressed. Let me give you a quote from Leo Tolstoy. The two most powerful warriors are patience and time. The hard part is knowing actually what is going to cure our depression. It won't happen overnight. It needs to take certain steps. Now, people think that if they can only just get their hands on some antidepressants, that's going to solve the issue. Did you know in the United States of America that we consume 2/3 of all the antidepressants worldwide? Now, you would assume with that many pills being popped by this many people that we would cure depression. We don't. Anxiety, depression, and suicide all work together. And we need to know how to deal with all three of those issues. Let's talk about depression. There's two types of depression. There is major depression, which can last up to 2 weeks. And it can happen multiple times. And then there is dysthymia, which is less severe but chronic and can last a couple of years. I'm going to throw out some statistics. Here's something from the CDC. 6.3 million children suffer from depression or anxiety. Out of that 6.3, 1.9 are dealing with depression. Girls between middle school and high school will suffer more from anxiety and depression than boys. Now, why is that? Because girls will then worry more about school, about appearance, about emotional injuries. That is why they deal with more anxiety and depression. Here's another statistic from the CDC. The group of people that have the most depression are women aged 40 to 59. $210.5 billion has been lost earnings in the workplace due to severe mental illness. And depression is the leading cause of disability in the United States among people being aged 15 to 44. So let's look at what helped me get out of my depression. Now, I was going to therapy and my therapist wanted me to get on antidepressants. I did not take them. Now, I already knew that sometimes people on antidepressants have suicidal thoughts. And that wasn't the main concern. My main concern is I really just had to deal with the feelings that was causing my depression, not to try to kind of get a quick fix. Now, I do think that antidepressants for a short period of time can help certain people, but we are also over-medicating and have this over-reliance on antidepressants. But here's the thing. I had to stop my addictions. I had to go into therapy. I had to start eating more fruits and vegetables. I had to start exercising more consistently. I always exercised, but I was very inconsistent. I had to laugh. I had to start praying, being grateful, doing things for others, working harder, music, friendship, expressing feelings, pets, spending more time with, I didn't have kids, but I was spending more time with my nieces, plants, hobbies, meditation. You see, all those things helped. Cannot be done overnight, but they all kind of help us move us forward. Here's the thing. The easiest thing to do to start dealing with our depression, with anyone who is depressed, is the food that you eat. You don't realize that the food can really change that chemical imbalance in your brain. So with a lot more fruits and vegetables, not only are you actually helping your depression, you're also helping yourself with other medical issues. So stop poisoning yourself with a bunch of trans fats, prepared food, packaged food, processed foods. Other things that are quick, almost instigators to get us out of the depression are the things that we had talked about. Now let's talk about that. Like oxytocin is about warmth and bonding. Hug. That is why hugs are just so valuable. Anybody can do it, whether it's with a child, a sibling, a parent, a friend, a loved one, your partner. Also, just spending time with someone that you really care about, bonding over a meal. You can even be having sex, that whole bonding experience where you actually feel connected to another person. Could be even just finishing a project or traveling. It's about those shared moments. It's also about those endorphins about feeling satisfied. That is why exercise, or whether we're at the gym, running, hiking, swimming, biking, just being outside, and also doing something like where you're beautifying your home, painting a room, cleaning the house, all that brings that whole satisfaction. It really helps us. And this other thing that we're talking about, these endocannabinoids, which is really part of your nervous system. Once you start dealing with that, that improves the efficacy of mitochondria, which is the power source of all your cells, and puts you in this homeostasis, which is this calm, serene environment state. You see, depression is a feeling. We need to start talking about depression. Many ways to deal with depression. We just need to start to heal. Look at the options. I used to have a sad outlook on life. Now I have a positive, happy outlook. I actually wake up happy. I used to wake up sad, and I always used to say, just like a lot of people who hear about who are depressed go, I can't believe they're smiling. Here's the thing. You should be happy. You should enjoy life. Life should be worthwhile. So you should figure out how to change that outlook. My advice, self-awareness. Look at everything in your life. What comes into my body? First, our mind. What am I reading? What am I watching on TV, on the phone, or on the computer? The foods. What am I eating and not eating? My body. Exercising, getting outside, doing something, not laying on the couch or laying in bed. My spirit, praying, being grateful, meditation, journaling, quiet time. And my people. People is the people that I surround myself. Are they actually not just loving me, but supporting me, accepting me, uplifting me, making me feel good? People that make me laugh. Do not underestimate the essence of laughter in our life every day, especially if you are depressed. So think about this. Your brain, your stomach, your muscles, your soul, your connections, all of that can change the way you feel and make you enjoy life. I'm going to finish with some lyrics from Michael Bublé. Feeling good. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. Life is wonderful.